Hey y'all, hey. So I've been reading through the book of Genesis, and I was led to start with the book of Genesis because everybody in the Bible comes from Genesis. We all came from Adam and Eve, but to know the backstory behind certain families, certain relationships, it makes things more relevant, and also you can see the full picture and not just the story. So the topic that came to mind today was, why do we keep sinning? Like, I ain't trying to be funny, but like, why do we keep sinning? Like, sin has consequences, and we continue to sin. Like, there's plenty of examples in the Bible and the consequences that these people have went through because of their sin. So, I'm gonna read Acts 5, verses 1 through 11, which is the story about Ananias and Sapphira. But a man named Ananias, with his wife Sapphira, sold a piece of property, and with his wife's knowledge, he kept back for himself some of the proceeds and brought only a part of it and laid it at the apostles' feet. But Peter said, Ananias, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and to keep back for yourself part of the proceeds of the land? While it remained unsold, did it not remain your own? And after it was sold, was it not at your disposal? Why is it that you have contrived this deal in your heart? You have not lied to man, but to God. When Ananias heard these words, he fell down and breathed his last. And great fear came upon all who heard of it. The young man rose and wrapped him up and carried him out and buried him. After an interval of about 3 hours, his wife came in, not knowing what happened. And Peter said to her, tell me whether you sold the land for so much. And she said, yes, for so much. But Peter said to her, how is it that you have agreed together to test the Spirit of the Lord? Behold, the feet of those who have buried your husband are at the door, and they will carry you out. Immediately, she fell down at his feet and breathed her last. When the young man came and found her dead, and they carried her out and buried her beside her husband, and great fear came upon the whole church and upon all who heard of these things. So these people lied. They lied to man. They lied to God. And immediately, they fell and took their last breath and died. So as I'm reading through Genesis, we start with Adam and Eve. Eve ate the fruit, gave it to Adam. They sinned. Sin entered the world. They had knowledge that they was naked. Let's talk about Noah. Noah was the only man that was righteous in the whole entire world. The only man that was righteous. God wiped out the entire earth, except for Noah and his family. Let's dive a little bit deeper. We got Jacob and his 12 sons. So Simon and Levi, they did it with good intentions to seek revenge off of the fact that their sister was raped. But they sinned. They murdered a whole city. They deceived those people in intention and murdered them. And therefore, because of their actions, they were cursed. Jacob cursed them with his last dying breath. His last breath. Simon's descendants lost part of the promised land. Levi's descendants were scattered amongst the other tribes. So Reuben, the oldest, he slept with his father's wife after Rachel died. And because of that, he lost his blessing, which was him being the firstborn. He was supposed to inherit more than the others, solely because he was the firstborn. But Reuben over here wanted to play. And his sin had consequences. Everybody's sin got consequences. So knowing all these stories, why do we continue to sin? And sin ain't just being part of the ABCDEFG community. Sin isn't just labeled to having sex outside of covenant. Sin is labeled as being disobedient. God told you to go somewhere. God told you to do something. God told you to pray for somebody. God told you to use your gift. And you are sitting there, not doing anything. Disobedient. That's sin too. Majority of the time, we want to point out, oh, they lied, they cheated, they having sex, they gay, they bi. But we don't want to talk about disobedience. Because that's equivalent. You're not doing something God told you to do. It's crazy. So I'll leave this message with y'all today. Take a minute, reflect on some of the areas that you're struggling with, that you're battling with sin. And ask God to come into your heart and change your heart so that you no longer continue to sin. We're not going to be perfect, but we should strive towards excellence. So I hope y'all have a good day.